No, I don't think. The Kaufmann's clock will never be known as the Macy's clock, but there will be lots of changes. And how will the shopping public in Pittsburgh, used to its department stores, accept those changes? And how will they affect the real estate market and merchandising in our area? Dr. Audrey Gusky is a professor of marketing at Duquesne University's School of Business. Herky Pollack is executive vice president of C.B. Richard Ellis in Pittsburgh and watches the commercial real estate market in both the city of Pittsburgh and its suburbs. Welcome to you both.
Good morning,
Thank
John.
you.
It certainly was not good news, but it was very much expected news. And Audrey, I want to ask you on the shopping front, is it going to mean a drastic change for people here in Pittsburgh?
I think it is going to be a drastic change. It's really the change in the whole retail landscape. Because when you look at the downtown arena and how things have changed as far as losing the Lazarus and Lord & Taylor's, then having only Kaufmann's and now Kaufmann's becoming Macy's. You look at the whole suburban area and a lot of the malls are going to be losing one of their big anchor stores. And so in retrospect, I think it's really a historic point. And I think this is one of the biggest retail stories we've had in decades in the Pittsburgh area.
Macy's will be the only big department store.
Exactly. Macy's will be the only game in town. And typically what happens when you don't have other competition, prices will go up. And service and quality of merchandise may go down because there's no one else they're really competing with. You know, department stores have been hurting for many, many years, decades, and so they really needed to do something. And so they're trying to build, as they said, this one large, superb department store. And I think because dinosaurs are becoming, or department stores are becoming dinosaurs, this was the only way to build those resources and capital.
Well, Herky, let me ask you, because there will be available space, at least at 3 of the big malls in this area, is there any possibility of competition coming to this region?
I think most definitely. Obviously, Nordstrom's been talked about for months and years about entering the Pittsburgh marketplace. I think that's certainly a viable opportunity for them to now come into Pittsburgh. They could either enter South Hills Village or Ross Park Mall as an entry point into Pittsburgh, and they've been long awaited in our marketplace. I think also regional mall developers need to get proactive in terms of how they merchandise their department stores. And you might see non-traditional anchors like Dick's or Target, maybe even grocery stores entering those spaces to replace traditional department stores.
Is this an opportunity? You're in that real estate business. Is this an opportunity to make changes at these malls?
I think change is necessary. We've seen an evolution. In my 20-year history in Pittsburgh, we first saw Gimbel's close, then Joseph Horne's close, and now Kaufmann's. And I think the regional malls have gotten stale. And there needs to be an injection of life put back into those malls, and this may be just the opportunity to do that. It's a bittersweet day for Pittsburgh.
You know, Audrey, we had you on the show a few weeks ago, and I think we were talking about entertainment at these malls.
Absolutely.
Do you see that as now an opportunity with these new spaces available?
Right. We had talked about the Pittsburgh Mills Mall opening and the fact that they brought shoppertainment to the area, which is needed. But as Herky said, you really need some kind of energy or spark because there's so much other competition with the discounters, online shopping, outlet malls, and so department stores need something to add some energy. And I think Macy's will do well. It's got a good name. It'll do better than Lazarus because they're at least establishing themselves in the market. And we're such a traditional market, though. Pittsburghers don't like change. So I think it will be painful. And I think a lot of people are still mourning the loss of Kaufmann's.
Oh, no doubt about that. Herky, you know, we are also a market that doesn't seem to change much in terms of population. I mean, we really have been losing people. Doesn't that make it tough for you to market to new retailers?
It's a great point, but if you look at our history in the last 5 years, our marketplace has added over 5 million square feet of retail space in Pittsburgh. And with all the projects that are planned in the Pittsburgh marketplace today, we're adding 5 more million square feet of retail in the marketplace. The market's shifting, and we're inventing a little better wheel and a little better product for the consumer to take part in.
Well, Herky Pollack and Audrey Gusky, thank you both for coming in and sharing our thoughts. I think that Kaufmann's clock is going to stay no matter what they call it.
Me too.
We'll be back with a special program note and more of the Sunday Business Page when we return in just a few moments. Stick with us.